Today's masterclass was taught by Cornelia Hurd, Vanderbilt University. I really enjoyed hearing the things that Ms. Hurd had to offer, especially as she, didn't shy away from delving into technique. As I've been watching what most people would call the Franco-Belgian bow arm all week this week, it's been just really interesting to see little nuances of how it's not the same for everyone. Recently on my channel, someone submitted a comment that was taking issue with the binary aspect of how I sometimes frame, Franco-Belgian versus Russian or Golden Era technique. There are principles or attributes of one school or the other, but no two violinists are going to have exactly the same technique. All the student artists at the Symposium play brilliantly with high level functioning technique. And even if they have certain idiosyncrasies, they don't seem to hinder them very much. There's one student that I noticed had a little bit of rigidity in the pinky and the thumb. The bow hand was working really well, but there's some rigidity here. When Ms. Hurd pointed that out in the masterclass, I thought, that's great. She is going to try to at least offer a suggestion to try to, release the tension from the pinky and the thumb. And so she told the student to feel that the egg shape, so the roundness, try to get the roundness. But then she also had him do some collet exercises to show the flexibility in the knuckles. And she also had him do some wrist circles. So while I agree with the idea that this is the egg shape, and that is a change that I would make as well, that is a big difference between the two technical approaches, is that I don't perceive the collet exercise or the motion in the wrist as a motor to being indicative or helpful to attain flexibility. In Golden Era technique, we aren't using the knuckles or the wrist as the origin of the motion. I think it's very interesting because there is a lot of crossover. There are some attributes of what I would consider mainly Russian technique that are represented in the Franco-Belgian technique that I have been witnessing. The two schools are not that far off. I've also seen many of the student artists placing their bow on the index finger at a deeper point, just like we do in the Golden Era technique. I think it's good to recognize what we have in common and then also where we differ. I will share more about the differences because it seems to be that a lot of you that are watching my content are very interested in what are the actual differences, and a common question that I get from you is, can I combine the two? So I will be addressing those two questions to a much greater extent in the future. The questions of what are the fundamental differences between the two techniques, assuming it is a binary, and can I combine the two? Okay, I'm going to head in to the performance by Jamie Laredo tonight, and I will see you guys later.